Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a few books today that I wanted to talk about quickly. I did a lot of cleaning today, and one of those things I was doing was going through my Goodreads to kind of make sure I had all of my books accounted for on my physical TBR on Goodreads. As if you didn't know, I keep a Goodreads list. I keep a Goodreads list that has all of the books that I physically own, including ebooks, so that I have them all in one place. They're easy to pull when I want to read them, but also just so you guys know, if there's ever a book that you want to buddy read that's on that list, let me know. I'm always down for buddy reads. That said, I picked out 5 books that I would love to buddy read with somebody. They're either books that have been on my shelf for a little while, books that I feel intimidated by, so having kind of a set time to read them would really get me motivated, or they are subscription box books that I haven't gotten to, and I'm trying to read all of the subscription box books that I got this year so that I can kind of make some decisions about which ones I want to keep. So let's get started. The first one I mentioned on Twitter the other day, and that is Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. I have wanted to read this for a long time. It is actually written by, so Annie Dillard went to the university that I graduated from, Hollins, and Pilgrim at Tinker Creek is talked about so widely. Just, it's one of the most famous books by any Hollins author, and I have never read it, so I've been meaning to pick it up, but I feel a little intimidated by it because I know some people really love it and some people think that it's kind of a slog. So I think that reading this with somebody else would be really helpful. I know that Stephanie had showed some interest, but maybe not right now, so let me know, girl, if you do want to read this, or if anybody else wants to buddy read this. The next one is The Crane Wife by Patrick Ness. This is one of those books that I picked up at our local used bookstore because I had at the time never read any Patrick Ness. Now I have since read one Patrick Ness book and it was okay, not my favorite. So I do want to read this so that I can kind of make a decision if really Patrick Ness is for me. And this one has some pretty good reviews, and it is the one that I have on my shelf, so I would really appreciate buddy reading with this so that I will actually get to it. Then I have one that was given to me by Adam of Memento Mori in the booktube Secret Santa Swap, and that is Go Tell It on the Mountain by James Baldwin. Now, a sweet commenter told me that this was a banned book, or this has a banned book status, and so this would meet one of the challenges for my Muse Monthly. So I am going to read this one by the end of the year for sure because I'm interested in this story, and I have it, but I feel a little bit intimidated by it, and so buddy reading would definitely help me be motivated, and also I think this would be a good one to talk about with somebody else, so yes. Then I have one from a subscription box, and that is Midnight Never Come by Marie Brennan. So any of you Book Bath Box subscribers out there, if you haven't gotten to this, I would love to read this with somebody. I did read the first chapter in my Try a Chapter tag, or the first part, about 26 pages, and I was very intrigued, but I didn't continue on with it at the time because I was much more interested in 2 other books that I read during that time. So yes, if you are interested in reading this, then I would love to buddy read this. And the last one is A Tale for the Time Being by Ruth Ozeki. I picked this up at a used bookstore as well, and I've had it on my shelf for so long. I think part of the reason why I haven't picked it up is because it's a hardcover, and I have a lot harder of a time picking up hardcover books than I do with paperback. I just find them unwieldy. But I am super interested in this story. It sounds right up my alley too, and this book gets such good reviews. I just have not gotten around to it, and I actually tried to pick up the audiobook, but the audiobook narrator was so hard to listen to, and so I was like, no, I'm just gonna have to read this one to enjoy it because this audiobook narrator is not gonna cut it for me. So I also think this is one that would be really interesting to have conversations with somebody else while reading it, because it sounds like there are gonna be a lot of really interesting topics in here. So yes, those are the 5 books that I would really love to buddy read with somebody to kind of get me motivated to read them, and also to talk about the topics that the books cover. So if you are interested in reading any of these with me, let me know. And I don't mean like this month or even next month, just if you're interested at all, let me know. We can kind of talk about when we might want to buddy read these, or if a group of people want to buddy read them. That would be great. But yeah, and if there are any other books that are on my physical TBR, I'll leave that link, and I will leave links to all of these as well, so that you can kind of check out what they're about, because I know I didn't really give a synopsis. Most of these are pretty well-known books. I think with the exception of Midnight Never Come, they're books that have been talked about either a lot on BookTube or are classics. So yes, let me know, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.